Well, let's turn our attention to the NAIA a little bit more. You're the executive director. What all does that entail, you overseeing this huge athletic organization?
Yeah, and it's most simplistic kind of way of thinking about it, I guess at the highest level. I believe my job is to create and execute a strategic direction for the NAIA, and that might mean a lot of different things to different people, but essentially work with our council of presidents and the other leadership groups out there to determine what's the right niche or the right role for the NAIA, especially as we think about attracting schools who have options to be in the NCAA, especially Division II and Division III are kind of our main competition. So it was essentially centered that around character-driven intercollegiate athletics. I know you're very familiar with our Championship Character program. We also deliver really high-quality competition at a reasonable cost. That's something that we're trying to make sure people really understand the real competitive level of the NAIA. And then I think maybe as important, or maybe it kind of combines all the above, is utilizing athletics to positively impact the institution. We have a new initiative called Return on Athletics that is providing data and analytics and a little bit of consultation to our schools to make sure that at smaller institutions they really understand all the great things that athletics can do. They're not going to be on ESPN on any kind of regular basis. They're not going to maybe be able to get the exposure of big-time football, but it can do a lot of great things for the institution if they do it in the right way.
So this Return on Athletics is a new initiative that you have that kind of, in some respects, sets you guys apart because you're diving in, you're trying to find out even more about the student-athlete experience and the things that go on at a college, and you're providing some numbers and some data to boards and presidents. How did that come about, and what is the future of that? What do you hope to obtain out of that?
Yeah, it really came about through various experiences I had with lots of presidents, most in the NAIA, but some outside of the NAIA, and the real challenges that they were articulating around small private colleges and their not only viability and ability to grow and prosper, but just some of them just needing to do some things to survive. And many of those schools were having a lot of success in bringing student athletes onto campus. That's a reason that a lot of kids go to smaller schools so they can participate in things, and athletics is right at the top of the list. But we're also finding that there were some presidents and some boards who really didn't understand the dynamics of it and the business side of it, and so that it's one thing to bring in a lot of athletes, but if you don't have your financial aid model in the right place and you're not scholarshiping at the right level so that there is some net tuition revenue, you can see your enrollment grow, but the financial picture of the institution gets pretty dim if that's the case. So it's what we're doing now is we're asking schools to provide us a lot of data that's student specific so that we can help them answer questions like what's the ultimate roster size, or when do you start seeing retention decline if the roster size gets too big? How do you use junior varsity programs? What's the sort of right discount rate, and how does that compare to non-student athletes? All these kinds of business questions that might bore a lot of people who are just in it for the athletic side, but if our schools aren't paying attention to that, then there may not be athletics at that institution anymore because the school won't be around.